Sawadika, welcome back to Thai League Central. Yes, you're with me, Ta Lau. Today we'll recap for you last weekend's action, a doubleheader weekend, which took place a couple of days ago. Of course, it was Ratchaburi against True Bangkok United on Saturday at 6 p.m., followed by a super clash at the Leo Stadium between BGPU and Buriram United, of course, the hosts for both the games, taking the 3 points there. Today, joining me, he's the tactician of our Thai League Central crew here, of course. Op, how are you doing in that pink True Bangkok jersey of yours?
It's great. The weather's nice. It's raining. It's getting like a bit chilly now. Again, it's raining every time we do a podcast. It's raining.
I disagree with the weather's great. You know, the rain isn't my thing. I like it nice, sunny, and dry, like the Thai summer style, like the soaking hot style. But I guess we all have our own opinions on that one. Anyways, let's shift our attention to the games that took place last weekend. Of course, it was a double header weekend at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Ratchaburi Mitr Phol finally got their first win after the COVID break. They got a draw, then they had a defeat away. They came back, got only a point, and now they got all 3 points against True Bangkok United. This game, Philip Roller getting the double. The first half was his solo goal late on. And, of course, it was that Poklau Anand's red card that also ended the half before Natawut Suksum. Yes, he leveled things up for the 10-man Bangkok Angels. But then Philip Roller came in clutch with a late penalty. So the home side, the Dragons, sealed all 3 points there. You look at the game, more shots for the home side, pass accuracy and passes went to True Bangkok. I think everybody expected that, as well as possession. But overall, the more clinical side got the 3 points. True Bangkok, I don't think they played that well. At the same time, it wasn't that bad for them, thinking that, in consideration, they had only 10 players for half of the game. So what's your opinion on this one, Off? I mean, it's hard to break down because Ratchaburi looked like a side that maybe they're getting back on the groove of things. While for True Bangkok, it's 3 defeats now in a row. But it seems like each game, it's been very tight. 2-0 against BG. They had many chances, unlucky to concede. Away at Chonburi, just a 1-0 defeat, but they were in it for most of the game. And now this one, they had to play with 10 men for most of the game, half of the game actually. And it's 3 defeats in a row. But should we really be concerned about True Bangkok and their situation?
It's the same thing with Bangkok over and over again. They played well, and when they lose, it feels like they're unlucky all the time. And I mean, you're totally correct here. They're always in the game because they're such a quality side. They're so good at keeping the ball. Therefore, they would always create chances. But then, look, they concede. They keep conceding like needless goals. Okay, I think Mano poking was fine. Like he accepted the draw. He would accepted a draw from Ratchaburi, and when he brought on Tosawat, that's like Mano said, okay, we're fine with a draw. We're playing with 10 men, but look, it's not their day. We shouldn't be Bangkok United shouldn't be panicking because Ratchaburi is a good side. We know how strong they are going forward at home. But then again, next game, Bangkok United against Sukhothai, they can't be dropping points anymore. But let's leave that for a future episode.
Yeah, we're of course going to preview that one. And on True Bangkok United, we have a special guest who will join us for the second part of the show. He is Potae, a.k.a. Everything Thai Football. He'll be joining us to break down True Bangkok United this season, as well as give his thoughts on all the football played so far in COVID. So do stick around for that. That is for the second part of the show. Now we're going to go to the home side, Ratchaburi Mitr Phol. Finally, they get their first win. The first game got canceled, and obviously they came back, only got a draw at Police Tero, went away and lost at Muang Thong, came back, just scraped through with a point against Prachuap, and now Philip Roller, who's been a very, very great player so far since the COVID, as well as before the COVID. I think this season he's been one of the standout right backs, cutting in, creating chances, scoring goals. He gets 2 goals in this one, a left-footed shot as well as a penalty that he converts. What do you think of Ratchaburi this season? I mean, it's they've been shaky so far, but hey, if they come through and they get wins like this, they'll take it, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't think Ratchaburi and their management minds how the team's playing. At least when they're getting the results, I think they'll be fine. And then I agree with you. They're really inconsistent. They're good fun when it's on their day, but they could be really frustrating, as we've seen on the away game against Tero. And Philip Roller, he keeps scoring important goals, penalties, open plays, assists. He's doing it all. And when we returned after lockdown, we spoke a lot of whether there's a player who benefits from the lockdown. I really thought Philip Roller is that guy. He spent his time in Germany, and I think that kind of gives him that refresh his brain. Or mentally, he's more fresh, and now he's back, and I think there's a hunger in his game. He was really emotional after last season FA Cup defeat to Port, and now he comes back, heading on into a new season. There's fire in his eyes, and he's performing well. And I look forward to see, whether he could lead Ratchaburi to the AFC Champions League by after the first leg.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Ratchaburi is in second place in that table because they now leap over True Bangkok. So they're in second place with 17 points, while True Bangkok dropped to third with 15 points. Now, before we move on to BG against Buriram, a quick question I'd like to ask you. These two sides were the perfect teams before COVID, if you remember. They went 4 wins in a row, perfect, sitting top of the table next to each other with 12 points. Here on out, there's lots of games to be played. But do you see one of them not making the top 4 come the end of the first leg? Do you see one of them dropping out? I mean, 17 and 15 points, they don't look as sharp as they did before the COVID break. Do you think one of these sides in trouble maybe of not making the top 4 actually?
Despite Bangkok's United poor result, I think if there's one team that's going to miss out, it's going to be Ratchaburi, because I think there's more limits to their game. And Ratchaburi is they are more chaotic and more inconsistent than the other top 5, top 6 teams in the Thai league at the moment. They're great, but I mean, consistency is what brings you success.
Yeah, I think I agree with that point. On their day, they're awesome. The attacking, the way they have hunger in their style of play. It's almost a very fiery attitude that everybody has when they approach the game. But True Bangkok is a side that you feel like they've been there and they've done that. They've always been in the top 4 for the past probably 4 or 5 years. They've always been hovering around that, second, third, fourth. So I feel like with True Bangkok, you're guaranteed almost a top 5 or a top 4 area finish when it comes to the end of the leg. But with Ratchaburi, it's like unfamiliar territory. They've only had periods where they've hang around 1, 2, or 3, and then they drop out of that area. So I feel like with tough games coming up, they go to Chiang Rai next. If they do earn a big result at Chiang Rai, then I think they're for real. But right now, you don't really know what you're going to get from Ratchaburi, and that's the main concern. Now we'll move on to BGPU. And when I say that name, when I say the name of that club, a big smile just appears on your face, because what a result they got over the weekend. 1 hour after Ratchaburi's game kicked off against True Bangkok, BG took field against Buriram United at home. Now, BG and Buriram, these two sides have been going for it since the beginning of last decade. But man, BG get that 1-0 win courtesy of that goal from Andres Tunez. It was written in the stars, right? It was written in the stars. That header from point blank range, he converts it in. So BG sitting clear top of the league with 22 points, while Buriram now dropped to 9th place with only 10 points so far. They do have a game in hand, though. How was this game for you? We were both there.
Mm-hmm. Going into the game, I remember sitting next to you and you asked me, what's my prediction? And I said,
Yeah.
oh, it's going to be 1-0 to Buriram. And you said, I'm such a bad fan. And then maybe you're right. But I think it shows the mental barrier like that we BG Batum United fans have, and perhaps the previous squad and core players have that mental barrier that keeps telling us that we're good, but we're not good enough. You know, we could beat anyone, but maybe not the top one or two sides in the league. Then again, the arrival of big players who have won the league before, Andres Tunez, Victor Cardozo, he's won like trophies in Thailand with Chiang Rai. They've got Sarat and Titipan. Like these players, I think during the game, you could hear their presence. You could see them screaming, shouting, telling teammates where to move, where to stay, and that's what we don't really see from the previous group of players. And for me, that's the difference maker in that game. And after the match, speaking to Bosida Bantovic, the Buriram United head coach, and I think we hear the same thing, that he one comment that he said from the start was Buriram player wasn't up for it. That he couldn't see his players hunger, and they didn't win the second ball. They wasn't pressing. They weren't winning the tackles. And look, maybe it's because Buriram filled with young players and new foreigners that haven't established their presence or power within the squad yet compared to the BG players. And it's that mental thing, that aura that Buriram lacks slightly in that game, but that gave BG the edge.
Yeah, and talking about giving BG the edge and the mental strength, I completely agree with that. They were the dominant side in that game in terms of that aspect, because you look at the game, Irfan Fandi goes out early in the first half and everybody was freaking out. I think that, okay, what's going to go on here? Because one of the back three, one of the strongest core group of players together is going out now. He's not going to be playing for most of the game. What's going to happen to BG's defense? And they stayed calm. They brought Chatri in to play the right side of that three in the center back spot, and he did a fantastic job. It was like, Tunez and Cardozo had to cover for him a few times, but for most of the game, you couldn't really see a crack in BG's defense, which means that it's not the players, it's the system that's working. It's the way that everyone's playing together, the way that they work hard together. And I think that most of this team has done it. They've done it for maybe somewhere else, like Titipan or Saraj or Sumanya, or they've done it through this team, like Irfan last year, who he went out, Santipap, Saharat, the likes of Genrop. He's also done it somewhere else. But other people who's going around this team, I feel like everybody has experience somewhere, whether it's with the club or somewhere else, and they're using that so well together that this side, when there's adversity, they don't fold. They just keep on going. And it's 6 wins in a row now for the Rabbits. That's the longest win streak so far this season. And not conceding a goal against Buriram and so many other games they played, they've not conceded. It's just a great, great sight to see. Now, that's all great on BG side, sitting top of the table, 5 points clear. But now on to Buriram, 9th place now. That's 3 away defeats now this season. How concerned should they be?
Slightly concerned. They should be concerned, but not panic. That's my favorite sentence or quote in recent week. I was how do we say, slightly disappointed with the performance of Sepovic again against Supanburi. He wasn't. I mean, not okay. On his debut, he was okay. Then he got better, and now it seems to dip again.
Yeah.
And maybe, look, when you're playing away, you need that match winner. You need that spark up front, and Sepovic needs to adapt and show his quality ASAP, or else, look, who will Buriram relied on in away game? And the Thai league is really competitive at the moment. Away games are tougher than before. Super Chok is not enough. Super Chai is he hasn't been performing for the past years. Super Nat is young, and he Bandowicz, I don't know how much Bandowicz gonna trust him. Kanyok is on the bench. I don't know why. According to Bandowicz, he prefers Super Chai because of to counter BG Pathum United's height, and that worked. But then again, you're sacrificing your own attacking prowess to defend aerial threats. I don't know. I mean, they need to improve. They will improve. But then the problem is they need to do it fast.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of time left. I mean, if you want that ACL spot, and you know, I'm gonna have a glance at the league table right now. But if you want a spot of the ACL spot, they do have that game in hand that they haven't played Rayong yet. But if they win that one, it still, you know, doesn't put them in a guaranteed position of top 4. And the way that the league shifts, you know, BG, Ratchaburi, Bangkok, Chonburi is now in there, Chiang Rai is just sneaking in. Port, we haven't talked about them yet, and we haven't talked about Police Taro yet either. They're in 8th place, so many teams. You could probably make a case for 8 teams who want to fill up and probably have a good chance to fill up that top 4 spot come the end of the first leg. And it's looking like an uphill battle for Buriram because of the amount of games left that aren't that many, to be honest, and they do have a few tough fixtures to go. So there you have it. That's the breakdown of BG and Buriram. Before we segue to True Bangkok United and have an in-depth thought with a fan, your thoughts on the decision of Port FC and the game against Muang Thong, on how the Board of Appeal have overturned the call, and now that game will be rematched, I guess, and Port will now be playing at Leo Stadium at the expense of BG, which means that they won't be able to play, you know, at home on the same day, obviously. So maybe some schedules have to be moved around, but they're sharing stadiums there at Leo Stadium at Pathum Thani. So what are your thoughts on the rematch and the stadium approval?
I'm on the fence with the rematch thing, and I mean, I don't want to get into it that much, but I thought it's ridiculous how the appeal was approved based on the fact that the match was abandoned because of outside factors.
Yeah, external factors, exactly.
Yep, external factors. Okay, it's the police who said it's dangerous. You've got to abandon the match. But, I mean, go deeper. Why is it dangerous? It's dangerous because you're not taken care of. You're not checking your facility. That's why the power generator broke down. It's Port FC responsibility. It's, for me, from my perspective, it's not an outside factor. Again, look, okay, and that's all I'm gonna say. Regarding Port playing at Leo Stadium, I don't think it's the best decision for Port FC fan. It's a long distance from Klong Tei to Pathum Thani. It's expensive, and watching football games shouldn't cost that much of your time, your effort, and money. But from a BG Pathum United point of view, I'm okay with it. Madame Pang, Kun Nuan Pan Lam Sam is paying Bangkok Glass money. So yeah, we making money. So why not?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it now for the recap of Ratchaburi and Bangkok United, as well as the BGPU and Buriram game. So we'll hold on a bit for now, and for the second part of the show, we'll have Potae, a true Bangkok United fan, joining our show to discuss more about the Bangkok Angels. See you in a bit. Hello, welcome back to Thai League Central for the second part of our show. Now, Potae, yes, the true Bangkok United fan, is joining us to dissect what is going on with the team. It's 3 defeats in a row now, but I mean, before that, it was 5 wins in a row. So mixed feelings, I guess, that you have right now. But before we get there, how are you doing? How's everything with your page, Everything Thai Football, as well as how are you?
Thanks, Tala. Thanks all for having me. I've been good. Just the page is just about to hit 10K. I mean, like 1K. I need 1K more to hit 10,000. So
10K. You can get to 10K easily by the end of this month. I trust you.
I the goal initially it was just 7K this year. You know, I got lucky. You know, with some posts. So now the target has changed to 10K. So I just want to keep it going and see where it goes. But like, yeah, it's been okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you need any help from us on Twitter or on any other platforms, please do let us know, as well as if we want to go on Facebook, maybe we can team up for future events as well. Now,
yeah,
the topic today, we're going to discuss your team, True Bangkok United. So from a big season overall, from the 8 games that's been played, how do you view your season?
The first 5 games was terrific, you know, like when I had a really nice feeling, like 12 goals in the 5 games, you know, 4 goals conceded. Very, how do you say that? I think it was a very good performance by them in the first 5 games, but then we had these 3 games, you know, like it's very hard to explain like what's going on, you know, but I look deeper into what might be the problem, and I just dissect, you know, the last 3 games with BG, Chonburi, and Ratchaburi. You know, we had 30 chances in those 3 games combined, and we got 1 goal. So, you know, now I'm gonna point out. Of course, you guys may also be able to see the goals are not coming enough. You know, Natwood Suksom is not going to be able to carry the team, or either is a Brenner. I don't think they're just good enough to carry us to where we need to be towards the end of the season. And also, I think the other teams are starting to, you know, catch the rhythm of how we are playing. You know, like we very much focus on, you know, our wingers, and as you can see in Chonburi's game, they were closed down and they couldn't really deliver what they usually deliver, especially in the first 5 games. So looking now to what's going on, I think the main problem is, you know, the goals are not coming. And when you look at BU squad, you know, the starting 11s are it looks very well on paper, but then you look into when you look on the bench, you know, you see now, I'm going to list them, you know, Putina Vanasi, Mika, Anon, Rungrat, Chayathon, Tosawat, Chirayut, and Natu. These are the games from Ratchaburi. These are not the players who you can count on to come and turn the game for you. You know, like I know I'm a bit harsh, but this is fact. You know, like we need squad depth. You know, you're not going to win the league if we carry on like this. You know, we need reinforcement. I mean, at first it seems very fine. We had one player came. I mean, like we got to like Hosokai was like very good in the first 5 games, but now it's stuck. You know, like they can't really penetrate to this a barrier. There's some sort that, you know, like they just can't get through. Yeah, and you know, with the rumors of BG going for Tirasin, Diego, I mean, why not? Like for BU to compete for at least one of their signings. Like it's no brainer. Like they got the money, but I know with the COVID stuff, but like they know the problem. I think Mano know the problem as well, but I just hope that in the next window they get someone to come in, at least in up front, like for them to be more clinical in the final third. That's really important to get the goals. And also just to touch on the last game with Ratchaburi, I think Philip Roller destroyed Pierre Patno Chaya like completely. Like, yeah. So it hurt for me to say, like, but it's the truth, like, and going to the next game against Sukhothai, like we need a win, to bring back the momentum, and to close the gap with BG. So
that's a lot to take. That's a lot to let me just calmly try to reflect on all that. This is a wave of comments coming over and over. Calm myself down. Op and I were losing it when we were talking about all of that. But anyways, we're back on Earth now. We're back on Earth. Now, you made a few interesting points there. Squad depth. Op and I kind of disagree with that. I think True Bangkok has one of the best squad depth in the Thai league. You look at the team that they have. That bench, I disagree with you, Potae. That bench, they can come on. They can bring experience. You look at the back, Mika and Putinan. They're elites in Thai league. They've been around for so long. You look at Chayathon. He's a young upcoming player. Went to train in Japan. Who else do you have? You have Natwood Suksum as well, he can score goals on his day, and he did. He come on and he went on and scored a goal. So
he did, but
what's
these are not like.
I mean, Anon he's also a great player.
Yeah, and that's great, but like, are we like being honest to myself? Just I don't think like it's good enough, for the team competing to the top. Like Anon, of course he's great, like pacey, but Nathawood still has a lot to prove, like and like Mika, of course I saw him play, with the national team as well, but it's not yet like the team that you look to the bench and you say, wow, these are the guys that can come in and create that spark, create like make that magic touch happen. It's not that level yet, and we need at least one or two names that need to be coming in, and create that spark. Like it's just not enough, for me. We can disagree, but this is where I stand. Yeah.
I want Op to now get his chance to share his opinions and ask you the next question. So Op, go ahead.
Like knowing you, this is the longest rant I've seen you go on. Wow. I mean, I don't even know where to start. First of all, let's start where I do agree with you. Like let's start on a good point. Right. On Pirapat, I think he was treated badly at Muang Thong United. I don't think they managed his career well enough, and I think he loses a lot of confidence in himself. And his development stalled at Muang Thong. Mano worked with him with the Thai under 23s, brought him to Bangkok United to fix their long-term problem at left back. And Pirapat is an improvement on what they have before, no doubt. Slight improvement if you're not a fan of him. But then again, overall, I do agree that Pirapat has let the team and Mano Poking, especially Mano Poking down. And in the big games, I've been this is a curse and it's real, and I've said it to Mano before. Since I've came back to Thailand, I have never seen in person Bangkok United win a home game, not once in the past 2 years. Whenever I go to Bangkok United game, like home game, they lose. And the worst player on the pitch is always Pirapat. You get beat either by pace or by strength. So yes, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Pirapat at the moment. I'm sorry. But okay, here is my question to you. You say there's no different maker in that team. There's no game winner or game changer in that team. Do you think it's a systematic problem or a like player issue? Is it the player or is it the system? And wait, and Mano poking is he loves like possession based football.
Yeah.
And you say the players are not stepping up. Who do you think in mind that needs to step up in terms of scoring goals? Who do you want to see more from? That's my question to you.
Okay, like I don't think it's a systematic problem because I love the way they play. They are a very outright team. You know like how we are going to approach the game. Every game basically, and I love that about Bangkok. Offensive, attacking football. Possession based. But coming to your second question, that's the I think that's the problem. Like I can't look to anyone and see that at least like goals coming from them. Like okay, Wanders has been like producing goals and assists, but he needs help. Up front, like Anon also, but he's still like learning his trade. He's still coming up. Like we can't really like rely on him so much yet. At least this season, still very young. So we need someone to come in, like I think like Mano has got to discuss it with the management. I hope he does, like to talk, like and see that whether we could bring someone in, in the next window, because like I don't think like we have enough like firepower yet, to get us where we want to be at the end of the season. Like, and especially, like now it's a three straight defeat. We need like a real push just to gain that momentum back, to get that rhythm back, like from the first 5 games. And I really hope that we can get through this difficult period and pull back, with a win against Sukhothai.
Yeah, you do have winnable games coming up. You do have winnable games coming up, Sukhothai and then Kholat, and I think Prachuap after that. But yeah, I mean, definitely it's about time to go back and win again. It's going to be tough against sides that are not doing so well in Thai League, but obviously you're True Bangkok United. You're expected to go out and perform on a week-to-week basis. So yeah, that's great talk on True Bangkok there. Yeah, another point you want to make.
Just to add on that, it's not like the next game is so difficult. I bet like Sukhothai is fantastic this year. The 3 up front, like how about like I really love John Bacho. He's a very underrated player. Like I mean, like he can be in one of the big team in Thai League. Like a lot better than many players that are playing in like the top clubs in I don't want to name names,
than William Pop. He's better than William Pop and Muntong.
Maybe Graham will listen to this one. Yeah. I mean, I think you both can agree with me on that. Like Sukhothai has got really good players.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's very difficult next game, and it's very exciting to see.
It's a difficult game. It's a difficult game, but at some point you gotta start winning now. Yeah. It's 3 defeats in a row.
Exactly. Like it's a home game as well. So let's hope we can get the 3 points.
Yeah, next Sunday night I'm gonna give you a call and see how you're feeling if it's a win or a loss. Anyways, now another point I'd like to discuss. Of course, we are now halfway through the post-COVID era, I should say, because there's not a lot of games coming up left until the ACL spots are all locked in. True Bangkok now down to 3rd place. They've been, basically passed by BG, who's absolutely on fire, and also Ratchaburi, who beat you last game. So now in 3rd place, there's lots of teams hovering around that area. You look at the standings right now. You're in 3rd. Chonburi equal on points. Sing Chiang Rai and Sukhothai just 1 point behind. You have Port on 13, and then you have Police Hero, Buriram, and Muang Thong also hovering around with 11 and 10 points. Are you still confident that True Bangkok are guaranteed to make the top 4 spots come the end of the first leg?
Yes, I still believe we will make the top four and go into the ACL. But it's going to be a difficult ride, but I think we can still pull through. Like if we muster up from the next game, and we got some crucial games coming, and it's not so many games now until the ACL quota is decided.
Yeah.
So, but I still really think that we can pull through and qualify for the ACL.
Yeah, and there's so many teams, I think, who are looking to go to that ACL spot. You look at it, there's only 4 spots available, but I think I can easily name 6 or 7 teams that almost have an equal chance of doing it. So before we end the show, quick thought from you. Who do you think will have to be your key player from the group that you have right now? If you had to pick 1 or 2, you can pick more if you want, but it seems like it's going to be a hard choice for you. But who do you think will have to show up big time for True Bangkok and allow yourself to guarantee the spots to go to Asia's prestigious competition?
Wander, Anon, and Manuel Tombier, my guy, like towering defense, and I think he's very consistent. As like very a top defender in my opinion. But I think he's like the best, if not like the best, like in the league right now. I mean, like for Thai center back. But like I hope these 3 come up big, for this crucial phase before we get into like the decision, like where like the ACL quota is to be decided. So hopefully these guys step. I mean, I hope everyone step up, but these 3 will be crucial for us, like to see it through.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, thank you so much, Potae, for coming on and expressing your feelings and sharing your thoughts on True Bangkok this season. Love to hear it from you. Anyways, take care, man. Till next time. Peace.